Your service dog saves your life daily. Now imagine booking a flight and then being told that they could be euthanized when you land. Talk about unexpected triggers. In this video, we're going to dive into the legitimacy of this warning, share what to expect when you add your service dog to a flight reservation, what questions to be prepared for to make the process smoother, and ways to minimize the chance that you will be triggered and discouraged from traveling. Join us. Your TLC adventure starts now. The first time I planned a flight with my service dog, I was excited and nervous to take a trip. We had planned to join our friends in Disney World for their 10th anniversary, and I was within my first year of PTSD diagnosis. And the thought of travel, crowds, and the multiple challenges that came with that was daunting. But I was also determined that my symptoms wouldn't stop me from sharing memories and experiences with the people I loved. So we booked our airline tickets, and I called the airline to add Palmer to the reservation. The problem was, I didn't know what to expect. I wasn't aware of the questions that they would ask and didn't have all the information ready. This made me flustered, activated, and my PTSD brain does what it does and stopped processing information quickly. Whether it was the personality of the person that I spoke with or that I wasn't giving my answers confidently, made me feel like they thought maybe my service dog wasn't legitimate. And she asked, "Are you aware your dog could be euthanized when you land if they aren't allowed across the border?" And then said that she needed confirmation that I was aware of that fact and that if it happened, it was my responsibility. I froze. I was instantly triggered, fearful of traveling, questioning whether I should cancel my trip. How do you process being told that your service dog might be killed if you travel? Once Chris was able to calm me down and we researched the facts behind the statement, I was furious. Who says this to people who already need extra support just to live their lives? In the past 3 years, I've traveled and booked numerous flights, so I can tell you that this is not a standardized warning. So I chalked it up to unfortunate timing being my first flight, the person I was forced to deal with in that particular instance, until I went out with a friend of mine who had been planning his first trip with his service dog, and I asked him how the plans were going, and he told me that he was canceling his trip. He too had called in to add his service dog to his itinerary and was warned that his dog could be euthanized when he landed. He was so triggered by the experience that it made him feel like he didn't even want to attempt the trip anymore. People with PTSD already face challenges in maintaining the ability to have meaningful experiences in their lives. For far too many of us, the simple act of engaging with the world and other people causes our central nervous systems to overload. It causes anxiety, emotional dysregulation, exhaustion, and even painful physical symptoms. But despite that, many of us push back against our body's reactions as we refuse to live a life without joy, without purpose. But it requires a ton of planning, a ton of management and effort. When you're faced with shocking and overwhelming challenges, before you even start something that you know is going to be overwhelming, it can make you doubt your ability to overcome the challenges that living out in the world presents. It was this visit with my friend that made me realize this was happening to more people than me, and impacting people with PTSD in a way that causes them to feel the need to withdraw from trying new experiences. So I wanted to create this video and share with you the process of adding a service dog to your flight, whether or not your dog could actually be euthanized for not meeting a country's import rules, and ways that you can expedite the process of adding your service dog to a flight to decrease the chance of being activated by the process. Adding your dog to your flight itinerary. When you have a service dog and you want to book a flight, you have two options. You can book your tickets online and then call in and add your dog, or call and book them through the service agents. For me, I prefer to book online, where I can visually see the seating plan, ensure everything works for our needs, and then call in and add our dog to the booking afterwards. As a pro tip, if it works within your budget, book the bulkhead, which gives you and your dog extra room for your flight. And in Canada, if your dog is a larger dog, the airline will provide you with an extra seat for your dog, free of charge, which holds true even if you book a seat in the extra comfort zones. Questions to be prepared for. When you call in to add your service dog to your booking, the service agents will ask you a number of questions. Which person on your reservation is the service dog for? Is your dog required to accompany you as a result of a disability? What work or task has the dog been individually trained for? What is the breed and weight of your service dog? What are the service dog's measurements? Height from ground to shoulder, width from hindquarters, and the length from nose to the hindquarters. If you're expecting these questions and have the answers ready to go, then your process should be relatively smooth. Next, they will give you advice for traveling with your service dog. The dog must wear a harness, vest, and leash at all times. The harness, vest, or leash must identify them as a service dog. The service dog must remain under your control at all times. Dogs that behave in a manner that indicates that they have not been trained to behave properly in public will be denied travel as a service animal. And unacceptable behavior includes running freely, barking or growling repeatedly at another person, biting, jumping on people, urinating or defecating in the cabin or gate area, causing significant disruption in the cabin or gate area. After they read these requirements to you, they'll discuss eligibility of the dog's entry into the country you're visiting. So when I've booked flights in the past, this has been articulated as well as, do you understand it's your responsibility to ensure that your dog meets the entrance requirements for your destination? I've had somebody else who knew I was traveling within Canada and said, I don't even need to ask you these because you're not leaving your country. And then I've had it stated as poorly as, are you aware your dog could be euthanized when you land if you don't meet the entrance requirements? And the truth is, you never know what you're gonna get. So be prepared for anything. And now for the biggest question. Could your dog actually be euthanized for not meeting entry requirements? And what is the likelihood of that actually happening? There are no known countries with policies allowing for euthanasia of service dogs simply for being illegal. The risk of a dog being euthanized for being denied entry to a country is extremely rare. Instead, the owner is held responsible for bringing the dog back home or paying for its quarantine if it doesn't meet the requirements for entry. If euthanasia is a consideration, it is in regards to the health and safety of the public. If the dog is from a country deemed high risk for rabies, which Canada, the US, and the EU are not, and they lack proper rabies vaccinations, proper health identification, then euthanasia may be a consideration, although quarantine is still the most likely outcome. If the dog is a banned dog breed, such as a Pit Bull Terrier, Stafford Terrier, Japanese Tosas, Tosas Inu, and Doggo Argentinos, and a person attempts to bring a banned breed into the country, the dog could be seized and euthanized. Dogs may also be denied entry but not euthanized if they have incomplete health documents or vaccinations are not up to date. In other words, as an owner of a certified service dog from a low rabies risk country with proper health documentations in hand, you should have no issues bringing your dog across the border. Pro tip, all countries have different health documentation requirements, so check the border requirements of all the countries you'll be visiting, even if you just happen to be passing through them. Finally, how do you streamline the process of adding a service dog to your itinerary and avoiding the likelihood of being triggered through this process? Many airlines are now keeping service dog documentation on file, which means you can fill out a form with all of the required information ahead of time, and once approved, they will assign your service dog his or her own airline registration number, which is good for up to 3 years. Once you have your dog's information registered with the airline, you simply provide your dog's registration number to the assistance agent, and they will add your dog to your itinerary. I hope this helps you feel more prepared, and avoid activation when booking your trips. So even with PTSD, you realize that your adventures don't need to stop. As always, remember it's okay to ask for help. There are resources out there, and it can get easier. Take care, and remember to indulge in the TLC you deserve. We'll see you in the next video.
Hey?
I'll get a room, you two.